Well, YieldMax Group A announced their distributions today, and we'll go over those. And I also got a distribution sheet for Biggie, Renty, and Soxy. And then we'll also go ahead and show a few others that have announcements made for RoundHill and Defiance. Hello my friends, this is Legend. We're going to go over what Group A in YieldMax made along with the weekly pairs. Then we're also going to go over Biggie, Renty, and Soxy as they did announce their distributions as well, along with a few from RoundHill and a few from Defiance as well. So we got a lot to go over, and let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So to start it off, we'll go over the Group A ETFs. And in Group A, we'll have BRKC, Crash, Feet, Fivey, GUI, OARC, RBLY, Snowy, Tesla, TSMY, Zomo, YBIT. And then we'll have the weekly pairs of CHPY, GPTY, LFGY, QDTY, RDTY, SDTY, SLTY, ULTI, YMAG, and YMAX. So let's just go ahead and go over those first. All right, so here we are on the distribution sheet, and this is for Group A with YieldMax for September the 3rd. Okay, now we're looking at the list here, and we'll start right off with the weeklies, and that's CHPY with 38 cents, GPTY with 29 cents, LFGY 44 cents, and keeping that 65% distribution rate. It loves that 60-ish% distribution rate, doesn't it? QDTY with 28 cents, RDTY with 45 cents, and that's a 52% distribution rate. SDTY with 19 cents, and ULTI with 9 cents, and that's 83% distribution rate. Still a very good distribution rate, right? The price has come down, so therefore the distributions will come down with it as well. But of course, once things start picking back up, it's possible that our distribution rates can move back up as well. But I'm okay with that 9 cents. SLTY, and that's a new one, right? And it's at 70 cents. YMAG with 8 cents and YMAX with 10 cents. Pretty low on YMAX, right? That's only a 44% distribution rate. But I tell you, everything's getting hit pretty hard in the market. A lot of fluctuation, and it hurts the YieldMax ETFs and all of these other high yield ETFs, right? So now we'll take a look at the ones that pay out every 4 weeks. And we'll start right off here at the top. And we've got BRKC with 99 cents, Crash with 16 cents, and that's a 51% distribution rate. Feet with $1.65, and that's a 63% distribution rate. Very nice. Fivey, $1.08. GUI with 69 cents, and that's a 66% distribution rate. OARC with 30 cents. RBLY, which is the new Roblox strategy ETF, and that's paying out $2.07, and that's a 50% distribution rate. Very nice. Snowy with $1.12, and that's an 87% distribution rate. Way to go, Snowy. Tesla with 39 cents, and that's a 65% distribution rate. TSMY 38 cents. Zomo with 29 cents, and YBIT with 27 cents. So that wraps up all of Group A right there. And of course, next week, we will have Group B announcing their distributions, and it will be the same weekly pairs right along with Babo, Dips, FBY, GDXY, JPMO, Maro, Marnie, Nvidia, and Platy. As you know, I do have Nvidia, Platy in Group B, so I'll be looking forward to those. Now, Palantir has come down, so I imagine Platy distributions will be on the low side as well. Now let's take a look at Biggie, Renty, and Soxy, and let's just see what they're paying out. And so here we are on the YieldMax distribution list for Biggie, Renty, and SOXY. Now these are part of the Target 12 funds, okay? And that just means they target an annual income of 12%. So we've got Biggie with 51 cents, Renty 50 cents, and SOXY with 52 cents. Distribution rates, of course, 12%. So they've been holding pretty strong around that 50 cents range, right? So I do have a few shares in Biggie and SOXY, which is part of that Target 12 ETF fund. So now let's also take a look at RoundHill and see what they're paying out. All right, so here we're going to take a look at the weekly distributions for RoundHill. Scroll right on down here and you can see that the first ticker being YBTC, and that's 46 cents, and YETH for 51 cents. The YBTC, of course, is the covered call strategy for Bitcoin, and the YETH is the covered call strategy for the Ether. So both of these are more of a crypto play, right? Now, I do not have either one of these, but since I did receive that distribution announcement, I figured I might as well share it, right? Here we are on a couple of others from RoundHill, and as you can see, the X date is tomorrow, and the pay date is on the 5th. For XDTE, it pays out 21 cents, QDTE is 28 cents, and RDTE is 32 cents. Now, I do have a few shares of these as well. I do not have any of the RDTE, but I do have some of the other two. So I'll be earning a little bit of distributions from them as well. And last but not least, let's take a look at the funds with Defiance. All right, so here we are on the funds with Defiance. And we'll start right off here with WDTE. And it's going to pay out 18 cents. QQQY is going to pay out 18 cents. IWMY is going to pay out 23 cents. And that's a 52% distribution rate. And OSOY, which is a newer one, I believe, and it's going to pay out 6 cents. And the last one on here is GLDY, which is going to pay out 13 cents. Now, I do have some of these as well. The ones I do have are WDTE, QQQY, and IWMY. Now, I've owned these for a little while, and I'll tell you that when you go through a reverse split, you don't necessarily want to do it again, right? And I did go through a reverse split on these Defiance ETFs, but I'm still holding them and still drawing in some distributions, right? So I think that covers about all of the distributions that I have notifications on. So while I have you here, I did want to show you that I did end up purchasing some shares on SMCY as the price had dropped. So let's just quickly go right over there, check it out. And here we are, right here on SMCY. And as you can see, we had that red candle today. The price dropped and it hit my buy. I had a buy at about 14.30, I do believe. Yep, 14.30, right there it is. SMCY, 10 shares at 14.30. So that will help bring my price down, although the price ended up dropping as low as 14.18, right? But I did pick some up at 14.30. And as you can see, I also bought a couple shares on AMD at 160.75. Just an FYI, since it's showing on the list here. So I basically just wanted to go over the distributions for YieldMax, RoundHill, and Defiance, just to keep you informed and let you know what those payouts were. And since I did purchase some shares in SMCY, I wanted to call that out as well. So it looks like I'm going to have some updates to do on my spreadsheet this weekend to get a few of these updated, right? So I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. It'd be much appreciated. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, Legend out.